So I'm really passionate about this idea, creating focus in the present, doing one thing at a time. Okay. Um, I came into this idea um, when I was on my mission in El Salvador. So this would have been from 2021 to 2022. And I would spend every day going out and sharing the message of the gospel of Jesus Christ with people. And I do that all day, every day for 2 years. And I would often find myself struggling to stay focused in the moment where I was usually, talking to somebody because I was thinking about the next person I'd have to go talk to and the next person and wondering if I was like ready to do that. Because, often, just talk to people in the street that we never met before, but we'd also schedule out meetings and lessons that we'd go to. And so, especially in like those meetings and lessons, I'd be kind of freaking out, like, how am I going to go through and do all this? And so I had to figure out how could I focus on one thing at a time. And so by figuring out that if I really planned things out in advance, I really understood the lesson that I had planned to teach and share with these people. It really, really, really decreased my overthinking because I didn't have to decide what was next. I could be fully present in whatever moment I was in prior to that because I didn't have to think about what I would do once that moment finished. And it just brought me right into where I wanted to be, and I was just able to be there way more fully, way more involved, way more connected with the people that were there. My focus increased the quality of my thoughts and my performance, my ability to serve, really. And I just remember in the months that I really started to piece this together, um, just the impact that I was able to have because I would be with people and in a shorter period of time, I could do more with them. I could move them in more ways. I could help them understand new things that I had struggled just months prior to be able to share and do with them. So, like, I just want to, like, I'm not perfect at this either because days that I don't plan out usually end in a ton of stress, and others that are planned out lead to hours and hours of dedicated work where I can accomplish so much more. And this is like every other day for me still. Like, it's not like I'm perfect at this, but I know that it does work because I'm rather inconsistent at doing it, um, especially recently, and I'm going to tell you why here in a second. But literally, the days that I do are just so much better than the days that I don't, and they can literally be back to back. Like recently, about a little over 2 months ago, I broke my wrist in a motorcycle accident. And, you know, aside from, being in recovery mode and having surgery and being in a cast and all the things that make it hard, the days that I haven't planned out my schedule or haven't like set out like these are the things I'm going to do today have been horribly unproductive and I haven't got anything done and I would just be barely able to do the bare minimum. Whereas the days that I thought through what I wanted to get done and how I wanted to do it, even the days when I was in a ton of pain, I got so much more done, just ridiculously, just way more than I had in other days. Even now, where the pain is pretty much gone, but I'm still in a cast, and so it's really awkward. If I don't plan things out, I get way less done than when I just write out a couple things that I'm going to do day to day. And I can just focus, I can be in the moment. I don't have to worry about it because I've got, 5 different projects going on in 10 different areas. And so it's really easy to get distracted, especially when you're recovering and it's hard to focus because there's so many things that distract you. So you can do it. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. But this really brings you into the present moment. And the more you do it consistently, the more powerful it gets. And so it's also important as you work through this, especially working on getting present in a moment, that you take time to reflect on it. You're not just doing it, but you're taking time to look back, week after week, day after day, and seeing how you are improving. And so this also just has a lot of workplace benefits. And we're going to go into this in the next section as well when we talk about working with other people. But definitely in like terms of reporting, this simplifies it way more because you're super laser focused, you're getting a lot done, you understand what's going on. When someone asks you for a report or an update on it, you're able to just kind of give it to them because you're super involved, you're constantly working on it, you know exactly what you've done, where they're at, you can share it super easily. And I find for me, and I don't know if this is true for everybody, but I'm going to assume that it is in this case, that most stress and anxiety in social situations really comes from not knowing what or how to say something. And so by, like I'm saying, being very involved in your tasks, being very present, having them written out, you're really able to, even if you don't have to share a lot, I'm not sharing, saying you're all of a sudden, becoming super eloquent and you're sharing a ton, but you're being very detailed, you're being concise, and you're being informational, and you're communicating the answers to the questions that they're asking. So like this is the same thing that helps me confidently report to the nine-figure entrepreneurs that I work with. They're twice my age and they work in areas where my experience completely pales to theirs. It's just not even worth comparing. And it also helps me in things like conversations to increase my personal contract prices, to get paid more, to make more money, to negotiate big real estate deals. Just being able to be really involved in things has helped me learn way more about things that I had absolutely zero experience with, even just weeks ago. So there's just some really beautiful benefits that come from understanding what you're trying to do, walking it backwards and breaking down all those tasks, and then being very present and focused in the moments that you're working on them to not only learn for yourself, but the ability to then be a benefit to other people. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this section. Let me know. This one was probably one of the ones I'm most excited to share with you guys, and I hope you're getting the value out of it that I hope I am sharing. And I would love your feedback so we can continue to improve and grow. But let me know what you thought of this video below.